I'm joined by Richard Dunne and Darren Huckerby. Darren, I'll start with you. Manchester City, 2 goals up. We know it could have been 3, but City definitely have been the dominant team in that first half.
Yeah, it's been a mismatch, to be honest. Started really well, City, and from minute one, the pressure's been relentless, really. And from a Norwich point of view, probably happy that it's not more than 2-0.
That could have been 3, but we'll talk about the 2 goals. And Gabriel Jesus, he definitely has got off to a flying start here at the Etihad. Assists as well for him, putting that ball in. That threat coming down the right seems to be troubling Norwich, Richard.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. Again, he's not playing in his most familiar role, but he's making the most of the opportunity to be on the pitch, and to have created 2 assists is fantastic. I think Man City in years gone by have been really fluent and quick and fast and counter-attacking. This team just slowly tear you apart, and Norwich were getting pulled from side to side, and eventually they find the gaps, and Jesus is getting in behind them.
That's what we've seen with Manchester City time and time again. If a team sits back, if they give Manchester City that possession, which we know that City are normally going to dominate, City will find that space and they'll pick a team off.
Yeah, the way they move, you look and you think, how are they getting through? But they've got 2 guys wide on either line, and it just pulls defences apart. Slowly they lose a little bit of concentration, a little bit of shape, and as soon as they do, one player switches off, Man City have found the gaps, and they'll continue to do it as the game goes on.
They definitely will. Darren, now for Norwich, we talked about how it's difficult, very, very difficult to stop a team like Manchester City. What can they do in this second half, going in 2-0 down, not had a chance, not had a shot on target, Ederson's not had much to do either? What can they do and how can they regroup?
They need an out ball from somewhere. You know, they've got to get further up the pitch, because if they're just playing into City's hands, if they keep trying to play out from the back and getting caught all the time, they might have to change it, might have to bring somebody else on and just maybe try and turn City around a little bit. It's been so difficult. They've been so strong. I just don't know how they can change it, to be honest with you.
So that first goal was an own goal by Tim Krul. The second goal, though, again, another assist for Gabriel Jesus, comes across the box to Jack Grealish, Super Jackie Grealish, a home debut for him and a goal. He didn't look like he expected that one, though.
Yeah, he did. He knew he was going to knee it in. It was easy for him. What a lovely way to start your City career at the Etihad. You know, you need a bit of luck sometimes to kickstart your season, and he's had a great slice of luck there. But apart from the goal, he's played really well. He's taken the ball, he's tried to take people on, and he's kept the ball, which has been really good. And I think he'll be delighted with his first half.
And that celebration, we might not have seen it here, but if you are anywhere in the world, just go to social media, type in Jack Grealish, I'm sure you'll see it. He had 2 fingers in each of his ears, blocking out any noise from anywhere else. Do you think that's anything to do with the price tag and everyone talking about him and him just blocking that out?
I don't know. I think to get off to a great start, you know, when you're a forward player, your first goal is really, really important, because it takes the pressure off, and you know, he's got it in his first game, and I'm sure he'll thrive from that.
Now, when we're talking about debuts, when we're talking about home debuts, especially for Jack Grealish, I mean, this is one that you'd want. He feels like he's free, he feels like he's open, he feels like he can play with that flair, that swagger that you said before, Darren, as well. And we can see that more in the second half. Yeah,
I think if you've got nearly 70% possession, it does make it easy, because you're going to have a lot of the ball, you're going to make chances. And like I say, you know, Man City have been absolutely excellent first half, and Norwich have really struggled to contain them. So second half, I can't imagine it being much different, to be honest.
Now, it could have been 3, Richard, but one of the goals was struck off. It was chalked off. VAR, it went to it, and then the referee, Graham Scott, he ran down. He had a look at it as well. Foul for you or not?
The initial reaction was, that must be a foul. We just thought all the Norwich players stopped. From up here, it looked like a foul. Obviously, the referee has to make sure, so he's probably let the game go ahead. But it was almost just delaying the inevitable. The next goal was coming, and I'm sure the Norwich players will be in there just praying that something happens, something changes, because there doesn't seem, like Darren says, there doesn't seem to be any way of them getting out of their own half.
If you were Norwich right now, 2-0 down, and then you look at the Manchester City bench, you've got Zach Steffen, you've got Ake, you've got Zinchenko, Mendy, Fernandinho, Doyle, Palmer, but then you've got Sterling. Then you've got Mahrez as well that could come off. I mean, that's some strength for Man City.
Yeah, if you're from a Norwich point of view, you just want to get out of here without it getting embarrassing, because, you know, it's only one game. But if you lose this 6-7-0, it can really put you back for the games coming up, and they'll probably be happy that Kevin De Bruyne is not playing or anywhere near the pitch, because God knows how many assists he could get.
How difficult do you think it is for Norwich right now? Because they haven't had a shot, they haven't managed to get into Manchester City's 18-yard box, it feels like. But there's been spells, there's been moments where Billy Gilmore, Todd Cantwell, they're finding a little bit of space. I
think if from a Norwich point of view, if you're the manager, you'll be disappointed that when we have had the ball, we've been really sloppy with it. So in the limited time we've had it, I think the players have been pretty poor on the ball. And that's one thing we're normally pretty good at, is keeping the ball. So it's very difficult. As a manager, you're probably thinking, how can I change this? And what players have I got that can come and make a difference? And if we're being brutally honest, we probably haven't got them.
Richard, I can't remember Edison touching the ball, it feels like. And we saw that a lot last season. We've seen that in previous years as well. But you can't fall asleep. You can't switch off at all, not in the Premier League.
You can't do it. And what's been really impressive about Man City's performance is how quickly they react when they lose the ball, or when the ball goes into the goalkeeper's hands or goes over their heads. They turn around, and there was moments down here the Norwich left back was running along when there was 4 Man City players chasing them to close them down. And that's the intensity that Norwich are facing. It's different in the Championship. If you've got time on the ball to pass it and move and all, they haven't got a second. They're getting closed down, and you talk about switching off. City, because of this intensity, because the manager's on the sideline shouting at them, telling them to get back, they don't have a moment to stop working.
Now, before kick-off, we realised, and we noted here in the studio, that Gabriel Jesus, he was playing on the right. We saw very quickly that Ferran Torres is playing through the middle, Jack Grealish on the left. I mean, they can interchange. We have seen that before. In that second half, Gabriel Jesus, he is a striker. He'll want in on the action. He'll want in on the goals as well.
Yeah, it's strange that Pep obviously played Jesus on the right, and Janulis is probably not our worst defender. So he's probably looked at that and thinking he can get in behind. But as a centre-forward, he'll be wanting goals. I know he's got 2 assists, but he'll be thinking, I need to get myself on the score sheet, especially with all the speculation about a centre-forward coming in. You want to get goals, so I expect him to take a few shots on second half.
Right, let's have a look what is happening around the grounds in the Premier League. You can see just here coming in all of those scores. Liverpool won earlier, 2-0 against Burnley. That was the early kickoff right there. Aston Villa are winning 1-0 right there against. And then we've got as well Crystal Palace 0, Brentford 0. Everton are beating Leeds 1-0. And that game, as I said before, Aston Villa and Newcastle still 0-0 right there, it seems. And it looks like there is another game in the Premier League a little bit later on. Brighton are taking on Watford. That is the 5:30 kickoff. And then, of course, there's plenty of action tomorrow and a game on Monday night as well. But back here to the Etihad, fans have been in full force. They've been singing. That beginning of the game, we saw the fireworks, we saw all of the flares, it felt like, coming from the top of the Etihad as well. This is what it's about, Richard. The fans are back, Manchester City are back, and the Etihad, well, it's great to see.
It is, it's brilliant, and there's been a bit of emotion. It's nice to hear the referees getting booed, the away team getting booed, the home team getting cheered. It's fantastic, and it's what we've all missed. You sort of got used to 18 months of no fans and thought, well, this is normal, but it wasn't, and occasions like today show you how much the fans have been missed.
And you can see that as well, maybe that's helping Manchester City, those fans having them back. For Norwich, though, it must be so difficult being here at the Etihad. Last week, obviously, at Carrow Road, getting that loss, and they're here 2-0 down. They don't seem to be catching a break.
The last thing you want to be doing is having a 300-mile trip back home when you've lost 7-0. So, for the fans, the second half has got to be a bit better from Norwich. We've got to try and impose ourselves on the game, but you want to give them something to cheer about, and first half, Norwich fans have had nothing to cheer about. Now,
we talked about Jack Grealish's home debut right here. So, Darren, let's have a look at your debut for Manchester City. Just here, Jack Grealish got a goal. What happened with Darren Huckerby? So you're coming on as a substitute. What's going through your mind right now? Can you remember this?
We were 4-0 down at the time or something daft like that.
4-0 down, it was 4-0, yeah.
And Dunne scored the best own goal I've ever seen. Can you remember? Yeah. He kicked it against the geezer from the halfway line and it went in.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, here you are, you're coming on. Again, another great shirt, another shirt that I remember very fondly just here. Must have been difficult though, 4-0 down. You just going out there just having fun?
Yeah, I think I got brought down for the penalty, so I thought I'm taking this.
Did you have any say? Did you have the authority to say you're taking it? You said to Sean just there, Sean, go, I'm having this one.
Yeah, I said, goats, get out of the way.
Now, what was that a penalty in this day and age? Would that be pulled
VAR,
back?
defo.
Definitely would. So you get given the penalty, you pick up the ball, an iconic ball there. You even walked across to make sure that it was in your hands and nobody else was taking it.
I actually can't believe that goats didn't take the penalty.
Yeah. Now I'm noticing there, number 21.
Yes.
That's been worn by some incredible players, David Silva, Ferran Torres.
He wore it better than I did, put it that way.
What a run-up, what a penalty. Did you work on those much in or you're going to get the ball 4-1 right there? You were confident that you were going to bring it back, right?
No, that's a selfish centre forward because you did okay, you got a goal. It don't matter what the team does. That's what centre forwards do.
Brilliant. All right, there we go. Well, Manchester City, they are 2-0 up against Norwich here at the Etihad. You can see Ederson, he's not had much to do in that first half. He's keeping warm, he's keeping limber as he gets ready to come out at the Etihad. A rainy Etihad as well. I talked about the sun peering through before. That's not happening anymore. The rain is definitely falling down. City are 2-0 up though. We're hoping we can keep that for another 45 minutes and we'll see what happens. My name is Kyle Walker. I've got Richard Dunne. I've got Darren Huckerby with me as well. And we will be back at full time. So make sure you join us. We'll see you then.